Glad y'all are all here. I am an installer on Paperworks, which is an installation service out of Jackson, Mississippi for 31 years. WIA member for the last 10 years roughly. And in 2020, became the tapo-fix representative for North, Central, and South America. So this is my wife, Sarah, that's helping pass out some information on this presentation. Mark White's helping us out too, keeping me straight.
Keeping you on straight.
That's right, that's right. So when I was asked to do a demonstration on pasting machines, I tried to kind of, there's a lot I could talk about, a lot of different things points that I would like to drive home. But I wanted to, the main thing I want to do is figure out what barriers, what things people, what reasons they have to not use a pasting machine, what keeps them from trying one. And one of the things that I hear most common is patterns, pulling patterns through a pasting machine. People are used to the visual element of laying paper out on the table, cutting it, and pasting it by hand. And so pulling straight matches and drop matches especially intimidates people, and they get worried they're going to mess it up. Paper's expensive. So I wanted to address that. If you have any other questions about pasting machines, come see me afterwards, and I'll be glad to discuss that. Want to discuss that with you. So for our demonstration, I did not have enough of one material to go through this 7 times, and I didn't want to confuse myself or you with using a bunch of different pattern repeats and stuff like that. So what I do have is liner paper. Hint. So y'all give me a call. But we used our liner paper to simulate straight matches and drop matches. So I've got this marked out. We're going to use this is going to be our demonstration on a straight match. I've got it marked out at 25 inches, and we're just calling it A because when we go to our drop match, we're going to have A's and B's. So we've got this marked out 25 inches. So just so you understand what we're doing here, we're going to go ahead and get started. So one of the most important things when you start pulling patterns through a machine, something you need to know, something you need to go ahead and figure out, is the distance from where your material enters into your machine, goes across your paste roller, comes around your drive roller, and back to your cut point. So on this machine, it's 13 inches. I know that, but it's different on maybe on your machine if you have a different brand, or even on some of our other models, it's a different distance. But you need to know that, and we'll talk about why here shortly. But what we're going to go ahead and do is demonstrate how you can figure that out.
Mark it, pull it, measure it.
That's right. So we're going to go ahead and put this through. I'm going to bring this around to my cut line, where I cut my material and put my counter in place, and I'm going to zero it. Now I'm going to put a mark right here where that material enters into the machine. My counter is zeroed out. I'm going to go ahead and pull that until I get to that mark. Okay, you'll see that's 13 inches. Okay, so that's just, we're going to come back to that. Just stick that in your hat.
Be used in test data.
That's right.
Big prizes involved. So you got to be quick.
We need to add some paste here. I think we're getting a little low.
Oh, did I not add enough?
Sorry. That's okay.
I'm slipping.
All right, somebody.
I was probably
That's all right. That's all right.
yelling at somebody or something.
So,
Mark's been a great help.
yeah.
Thank you, Mark. We owe you a drink.
So, we're going to go ahead and we're going to use an example. So a 25-inch vertical repeat on a straight match. Your pattern, you pick your pattern, your sealing line out. That's going to repeat every 25 inches. So it's going to be on 25, 50, 75, 100, right? So in this example, we're going to pretend we have a 40-inch wall. So I on a 40-inch wall would be pulling that to 44 inches. I'm going to give myself 2 inches top, 2 inches bottom. So I'm going to go ahead. This is my sealing line. This is representing what I've chosen in the pattern as my sealing line. I'm going to go ahead and mark that about 2 inches above that. I'm going to pull that around until that little mark that I just cut is at my cut line. Okay. Put my counter in place. I'm going to zero it out. That off. So we need a 44-inch panel, right? We've got 25-inch vertical pattern repeat. So we're going to pull this to 44.
cut this off.
So you don't zero out your counter. You're gonna kind of, if you've used the pasting machine before, you're gonna kind of be tempted to go ahead and zero that out. But because our next ceiling line is gonna come up at 50, you're gonna pull this to 50 inches. I think we'll see. And so now you're back at your A. Because you went to your pattern piece. So now you can pull your next panel. Okay, but say I just pulled that panel and I'm hanging it, and I'm working with a British pulp or something that's gonna expand kind of crazy. I don't want all this material sitting in the paste while I'm working, because it's gonna turn to mush or it's gonna expand uneven, and when I go to pull my next piece, I'm gonna have the top expanded already. I just wanna pull one panel at a time. So that's where we're gonna use our 13 inches we just talked about. So, again, I want a 44-inch panel. We got some math involved. Forgot to tell you there's going to be prizes, but you know we're paper hangers. We got to use math. None of us really like it, but it's repetitious, and we're using simple math. But we're going to be some math questions. You get there's one prize left.
We got two.
It's 31. Okay. You already know. Okay. Who said 31? Okay. So 44 minus the 13 is 31. Okay. Yep.
So is it Steven or Craig?
We go ahead and zero that out, pull it to 31.